Hey there. Well, we are nearly at the end of week 2 of our 40 days of intimacy with God. And I thought it might be worth just stopping and thinking about what have we learned. Now, I don't know what you've learned, but if you're like me and some of the people I've spoken to, when you dedicate yourself to spending time with God every day, after a few weeks, you start to learn a few things. And what's fascinating is, although hopefully you've learned more about the Lord and more in His Word, it wouldn't surprise me if you've learned a lot more about yourself. What you might have learned is that finding time every day takes planning, takes discipline, takes effort. Sometimes it takes the will to carve out the time. What you also might have discovered is about yourself is how much we put a strange dependency or reliance on doing this every day. And I don't actually mean in a good way. I mean, what can creep in is this kind of almost legalistic or pride thing. And it works one of two ways. Either we feel really good about ourselves because I've managed to do this each day, and we can slip into thinking, well, God must really love me. He must really be pleased with me. Look what I've done. Like we could earn God's love any more than He's given us already. Or the flip side occurs. We miss a day, miss 2, miss 3. We beat ourselves up. We feel like, oh, I'm failed. I'm no good. God must be disappointed in me. And that's not true either. And we discover about ourselves how much we really want to either earn God's love, or how much we feel bad that we haven't earned God's love. And that's a real interesting tell about our heart and our perspective on God. And we have to start to realise, you know what? This is just a way of spending time with God. And if it happens every day, great. If it happens 3 times a day, great. If it happens once a week, great. I hope what you've been able to discover and learn is that, God loved you on the days that you didn't manage to find time to do this. He still loved you. He still poured out His love. And you might not have been aware of it. Maybe the lack of time or different things going on meant that you couldn't stop and think about it. But hopefully you've come to know that God still loves you. He's still there. And we haven't got to earn it. We haven't got to make it happen. And so maybe you learned that about yourself. Maybe you've learned that you didn't stop before to read and stop and read the Bible. Maybe you've learned that I would spend time just trying to get through the Bible like it's an achievement instead of stopping and allowing it to sink in. I hope you've learned that it's actually good to slow down, get alone, take time with God. I hope you've learned that some days are easy and some days are more difficult. But either way, it's a relationship with God. It's worthwhile just at this point, 2 weeks into this, of just taking a moment yourself, just stop and think, well, what have I learned? Maybe even if you've been journaling, writing down kind of each day, maybe just take another page on the journal you've got and write down, what have I learned so far? What have I discovered? And don't be surprised if a lot of what you've learned is about yourself and your own heart and your own attitude. That's God revealing things. That's God working in your life. Well, I pray you keep going. I pray you discover God's heart for you. I pray you get deeper in your relationship with God. Not because you want Him to love you anymore. He loves you more than you can know. But because you want to encounter His love. Because you want to experience it. And because you want to get it deep into your spirit and into your heart. That awareness of God's love. Be blessed. Keep going.